Stories that touch your heart. Barb's Beats.
Mark Zoromski is a journalist and educator who has a passion for his students and his profession. In this podcast, Mark shares his excitement about a new position at Marquette University, his work with students at UW-Milwaukee, and also a heartbreaking loss he and his family have lived through.
I'm Mark Zoromski, and I am the brand new Director of Student Media. I come here from UWM. I taught there for 20 years. I was in the television news business for about 20 years, mainly a newscast producer and later a manager. I think the thing I'm most proud of would be UWM Panther Vision. When I started there, they had no student television newscast. And I started a class-based television newscast called UWM Panther Vision in 1998. The students in my reporting class were the reporters and the photojournalists and the videotape editors, yes, videotape. Then I created a newscast management class, a television news management class, and those students were the newscast producers. We worked in conjunction with Milwaukee Area Technical College, which has a 2-year television and video production program. So we had this marriage between these 3 classes, 2 at UWM, 1 at MATC. They were the technical crew for our newscast. It was absolutely stunningly successful. The students won more than 250 awards for journalistic excellence. And the biggest, the one that will never, ever be repeated, in my opinion, is that we won a National Edward R. Murrow Award for continuing coverage in the professional large market division. So we weren't competing against college stations. We were competing against the stations in New York and Milwaukee and Chicago and San Francisco. The Murrow Awards are probably one of the most coveted national broadcast television awards in the country. In 20 years in television news, I've been involved a lot of great things in my professional career. The journalism those students did ranks among the best I've ever seen. So yeah, I was really involved, and I was able to really push them and keep them on track. I had to be both their news director and their managing editor and their cheerleader and their dad, all at the same time, and keep them excited about what great journalism this can be. You learn about journalism in your classes, you go out and do journalism, and then you have it critiqued by a professional, and then you go do it again, and you get critiqued by a professional. I have a philosophy my philosophy is average sucks. I don't want to be average. I don't want my students to be average. If you try hard and the best you can do is average, that's fine. But we should aspire to more than that. One of the things that attracted me to this position, a million things did, but one of them was, can I use it as a launching pad to kind of reinvest in my faith? Faith is very important. It always has been. I'm not so sure I've always dedicated as much of myself to it that I should have. But, the hardest question for me to answer when I meet somebody is, well, do you have any children? What am I going to do? Do I say I have 2 children? Then I don't have to go through the emotional, gut-wrenching time of trying to talk about Kate, or if I do that, is that disrespectful to her and not honoring her memory? It was the day after Thanksgiving, and it was just 4 kids, great kids, no alcohol, no excessive speed, no cell phone use, no erratic driving. But for some reason, Kate's car she was driving drifted across I-43 and went under the $600,000 barrier that's supposed to stop cars from going across to the other lane, and was hit by an oncoming van. Kate was killed at the scene. It's a hard thing, but in many ways, it's made me a stronger person. There's a time, for a long time, when you are mad at God and you're mad at everything. I got together with one of the former priests of our parish who we became real close to, and I said, Father Mike, I don't know how I'm going to find God again. I don't know how I'm going to find my faith again. And he looked at me and he said, well, maybe you don't have to. Maybe God will find you. And I really think that was true. I started to get involved in teaching youth ministry. I wanted to be around those kids because I felt a connection. Every one of them walks around with a piece of Kate's soul in their heart. And so I started teaching youth ministry, and I started going to work camp in honor of Kate. And I think that in many ways, I'm certainly a different person. I think in many ways, I hope I'm a better person. I try to honor Kate every day by doing well with the students here, and I think she'd be proud of me, and I want to make her proud every day.
Stories that touch your heart. Barb's Beats.